Here is your HFY sci-fi story, written fully in third person, close to 1800 words, using simple names. No forbidden symbols, no listed names, and clean language. The tone is cinematic and emotional, suitable for HFY narration and YouTube storytelling. They gave her to the human like an unwanted burden. She stood in the docking bay, thin frame wrapped in a faded robe, translucent skin showing faint blue veins beneath. Her species had once ruled 3 systems, but famine, war, and betrayal had reduced them to scattered refugees. To the council that ruled what remained, she was a problem with no solution. Her name was Lyra. She was known as Frail, unfit for labor and too sickly for military breeding programs. The physicians had marked her survival odds as low. Feeding her longer would cost resources. Ending her openly would spark unrest among the remaining civilians. So the council chose a third path. They traded her. A single human ship had arrived months earlier, responding to a general distress broadcast. The humans had asked for nothing except permission to study the region and offer limited aid. The council saw opportunity. Humans were strange newcomers, strong for their size, resilient beyond logic, and emotionally unpredictable. Rumors said they bonded with weaker species instead of exploiting them. Perfect. They offered Lyra to the human commander as a gesture of peace and cooperation, a dependent, a responsibility, something to weigh the humans down. When the human accepted, the council hid their smiles. The human was called Elias. He did not look impressive. No ornate armor, no glowing insignia. Just a tall figure in a simple uniform, eyes calm, posture relaxed. When Lyra was brought forward, escorted by guards, she kept her gaze lowered, expecting indifference or disgust. Instead, Elias knelt. He lowered himself until his eyes were leveled with hers. She flinched. "I am Elias," he said gently through a translator. "You are safe." Safe. The word meant nothing to her. The safety had vanished years ago. She was escorted onto the human ship with minimal ceremony. No chains, no guards. That alone confused her. She waited for confinement, testing, or neglect. None came. She was given a private cabin. Medical scans were done with care, and the human doctors spoke softly, explaining everything even though they thought she would not understand. Her meals were adjusted slowly to avoid shock. The lights were dimmed to match her sensitive vision. Lyra watched it all in silence. She expected this kindness to end. It never did. Weeks passed, then months. Her health stabilized. Her breathing no longer hurt. Her limbs felt stronger. She began walking the ship's corridors, timid at first, then with growing confidence. Crew members greeted her, smiled, offered assistance without pity. Elias checked on her regularly, not as a handler, but as a guardian. He never raised his voice, never demanded gratitude. He listened when she spoke, even when her words were broken and hesitant. For the first time in her life, Lyra was not treated as a resource or liability. She was treated as a person. Years passed. The human ship became her home. When the ship returned to human space, Lyra expected to be hidden away. Instead, she was introduced openly. Humans stared at first, curious, cautious. Then they accepted her. She learned their language properly. She learned their history, and she learned the truth. Humans came from a world labeled a death world by galactic standards. High gravity, violent weather, countless predators, disease, constant environmental pressure. Most species evolved to avoid hardship. Humans evolved by surviving it. Pain did not break them, it sharpened them. When Lyra finally understood this, she understood Elias too. The years changed her. Not suddenly, slowly, naturally. Her muscles strengthened. Under higher gravity, her immune system adapted to human microbes. Her once fragile bones grew denser through medical therapy and physical conditioning. She trained alongside humans, not as a soldier, but as a survivor. Elias never pushed her, he simply believed in her. Then the war came. The same empire that had shattered Lyra's people turned its attention to human expansion. They assumed humans would fold quickly. After all, they had taken in refugees, healed the weak, and avoided early confrontation. That was their mistake. The first attacks were brutal. Colonies burned. Stations fell. Elias was called back into active command. Lyra watched human ships launch, knowing many would not return. Fear twisted inside her, not for herself, but for them. She went to Elias. "I want to help," she said. He hesitated. Not because he doubted her strength, because he feared losing her. But humans did not deny choice. They trained her not to fight like a human, but to fight like herself. She learned strategy, logistics, coordination. She became a bridge between species, understanding alien psychology better than any human analyst. Her insights saved lives. When the enemy launched a massive assault on a human defense hub, Lyra was there. The battle was chaos. Explosions lit the void. Ships screamed as hulls ruptured. Enemy forces pushed forward with overwhelming numbers. Then something changed. Human ships did not retreat. They closed in. Boarding actions began. Elias led one of them. Lyra stayed in command, control, coordinating evacuations, rerouting power, issuing orders with calm precision. Her voice did not shake. Enemy commanders listened in disbelief as reports came in, humans were fighting hand-to-hand in vacuum-breached corridors, fighting injured, fighting outnumbered. Winning. When the enemy flagship was disabled, it was Elias who delivered the surrender demand. The war shifted after that battle. More followed. Years of conflict ended with human victory, not through conquest, but through relentless defense and strategic pressure. The empire fractured, unable to break human resolve. When peace was declared, a galactic summit was called. Representatives from dozens of species gathered. And so did Lyra. She walked into the chamber not as a gift, not as cargo, but as an envoy. The council that had traded her away sat frozen when they saw her. She was taller now, stronger. Her once dull skin glowed with health. Her posture radiated quiet authority. They did not recognize her at first. Then they did. Whispers spread. That is the one we gave away. How is she alive? What did the humans do to her? Lyra stood beside Elias when she spoke. The chamber fell silent. I was given to the humans because you thought I was weak, she said, because you believed my life was a burden. She looked at them calmly. The humans did not see weakness. They saw someone worth protecting. She turned to the assembly. They did not change me through force. They gave me safety, time, and choice. Her gaze hardened, and that is why they won. The chamber erupted in debate, fear and awe. From that day on, the story spread across the galaxy. The frail alien woman given away as a political afterthought. Of the human who refused to treat her as lesser. Of a species from a death world that turned compassion into strength. Of a truth that the galaxy could no longer ignore. Never underestimate humans. Because when they protect someone, they do not let go, and when they believe in you, they help you become more than anyone ever expected.